Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Miami Real Estate is Now Feared by Money Launderers. Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help spread the word. Now, let's get started. Money launderers used to love laundering their money through real estate and especially through Miami. They would launder their drug money through all sorts of real estate in Florida and Miami and the entire region. They would also launder their money through crypto. They would buy seemingly legitimate businesses to launder their money through. They would also launder their money through fake purchases of art or other major assets. They would launder their money through fake banking transactions or fake purchases. They would do all sorts of things to launder their capital. But one of the things they loved most about Southern Florida, especially Miami, was the ability to launder money through its real estate. Back in the 80s, it was said that most of the new skyscrapers built in Florida were built by drug money and drug money launderers. There were so many new skyscrapers being built in South Florida back then that it was amazing. It seemed that there were more skyscrapers popping up than ever before. Guys who nobody knew, who had never been in the real estate business before, were suddenly coming into town, coming into Miami, and putting skyscrapers up every 5 minutes. Most of them were built with few or no tenants in the beginning, but their mysterious new owners and developers didn't seem to worry about that. They were focused on having them built as quickly as possible. Speed was the key. The rumors were that the worse the drug wars in Colombia were, the faster these new guys needed to put up their skyscrapers here in the U.S. The belief was that they had to move their money to the U.S. as fast as possible to get it out of Colombia or Panama before one of their competitors attacked them, killed them, or stole whatever they had. Next, we fast forward to 2015. The U.S. economy was still relatively intact, real estate was still viable, and you could transact the acquisition of commercial buildings to move your cash through. But then, within the last few years, the economy was destroyed, and it's still getting worse. The interest rates exploded into the stratosphere. The lockdowns showed everyone that they didn't need to go to the office to work. You didn't need to drive to the office, pay for parking, pay for lunch, pay for the babysitter. You didn't need to spend all that time sitting in traffic to get to and from work. You could avoid all of this by simply working remotely with Zoom. In doing so, you would save tons of money and time and aggravation. And when people stopped going to work at the office, then the owners of the office buildings realized that the values of their buildings would plummet. And it did. When spiking crime and high interest rates and homelessness on the streets in front of their buildings started to explode, then it was too late. Owners realized that they couldn't give these buildings away. When people saw these buildings at night, they realized they were mostly empty. So, you know what happened then? Then the money launderers who bought these buildings when times were good, they suddenly realized that the hundreds of millions in drug money that they poured into these buildings was gone. They would never get their money out because no one wanted to purchase them anymore. Who's going to buy their buildings when there's no way to make money off of them without paying rent? So almost at once, the money launderers of South Florida decided that they would no longer launder money through South Florida, and they were done. We suspect that a lot of the people whose job it was to launder drug money through South Florida real estate, a lot of those people got their heads chopped off when their organized crime bosses realized that the drug money they used to buy these buildings was gone forever and that they'd never be able to sell these buildings. And the cost of maintaining these office towers, well, that's just going to increase in time. But they were stuck. They couldn't sell these buildings, they couldn't find tenants, and they couldn't do much of anything else with them. So what did all these money launderers decide to do? Well, those that went into crypto recently, they lost money. Those that went out and purchased seemingly legit businesses ended up losing a ton of money because restaurants, nightclubs, bars, and retail shops that they bought to launder the money, well, those are all losing money. They're in serious trouble. So what next? Where does the billions of dollars that needs to be laundered every month go next? Well, we have our suspicions. Some people think it'll be used to purchase more physical gold and silver. Other people believe it'll be used to acquire land with water rights or perhaps residential real estate apartment buildings, but who knows? Keeping it in cash is not an option for the money launderers because cash will lose 10 to 25% of its value each month just from inflation. Wall Street and the stock market wasn't ever an option because the only thing money launderers distrust more than each other is putting their money in Wall Street and the stock market. They all know how corrupt and evil and dishonest Wall Street is. In fact, the joke has always been that if a drug dealer or money launderer really hates his competition and wants to destroy them, then all he has to do is to convince his enemies to invest heavily in stocks. When that drops, then that'll be the best way to destroy their competition and their families. Good luck. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on the notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's show on all your social media to help get the word out. Thank you, and we shall talk to you soon. Bye-bye.